So it is time to go set a net. Joe and Sam are in their boat and they're going to go up a river here and set a net in a nice big eddy. And you can see the smoke in the river. We got forest fires not too far away. Well, not forest fires, tundra fires. But anyway, let's go check out Joe and Sam here. All right, yeah, Joe's getting his net already in his boat, and okay, there's Joe and Sam just arriving in the what we call the lower eddy. And they're gonna tie up. Tie onto a line that they have along the shore there, and they're going to start setting their net out. So this is the Rampart Rapids right here. This is this island in the middle of the river out there is why they call it the Rampart Rapids. In the old days, there used to be a lot of like rafts and scows that were real low powered, and they would come down and they would try to get through this thing. And like I say, this is not rapids. This is not something that would be a problem for any kayak, canoe, or anything like that. Although I've seen kayaks tip over on that island out there in high water, not knowing it was there. It'd be just looked like a little bit of rough water, and they would hit those rocks. But in the old days, it was really hard to navigate and keep a raft. You know, you come around the bend here. There's some real S-turn bends right up above here, and rafters. You know, like I say, big scows, unmotorized scows. You know, they'd fully loaded with mining equipment and all sorts of stuff. People who had never been on this section of the river before, they would come down here and they would run into that island, because by the time they saw it, they couldn't steer away from it. So you can imagine the mess. And that's how the place got its name, the Rampart Rapids. And our camp is on this side of the river, and the north side, and it's almost in view, although the smoke from some tundra fires here to the south are blowing in here and causing some lack of visibility. So this eddy here, what it is as the fish come up river, that's downriver, as the fish move up river, the channel that's in the middle splits into two to get around this island. So channel on each side of this island, and then there's really rough water, fast water out just a little ways from shore here, and that is uncomfortable for the fish, and that drives the fish in towards the shore a little bit, and that's why it's such a good eddy for king salmon. Chum salmon spots, which are smaller salmon, they run right along the shore, and they're a dime a dozen. They're all over the place. But these king eddies, you have to be someplace where the fish that are more offshore are, you know, they are driven in towards the bank a little bit. So right now this eddy is way out. Now what will happen is it's changing all the time. Right now that eddy is enormous. But what will happen is during the night, many times it'll be off and on, you'll see this that net just pushed right up against the shore here almost, and then it'll play itself out again. No matter what size anchor you have on the darn thing, it's going to do that. So Joe's got the net fully out. got the buoy out, and now he's going to drop the anchor. And he's just getting the net real tight and taking a look at it, and there he goes. He just dropped the anchor. And then he's going to go and he's going to put weights on the bottom of the net, and he's going to sink the net on the bottom, or about 2 feet off of the bottom to the bottom, and because that's where most of the fish are, and that's where his best catches are. And he's got the beginning of the net. He's pulling up to the beginning of the net here, and you can see how much line he has in between the shore and the beginning of the net, and that's all because the chum salmon run along the bank, and where the summer chums are really poor quality. White flesh, they're not, like I say, any of that we catch we feed the dogs with that. In fall, the fall chums will come up the river, and they're going all the way to Canada or the upper Yukon, and so they're in much better shape. Some of them are almost as good as the king. And so he's got the beginning of the net is, you know, like I say, well offshore there. And now you can see the current has pushed the net way into its shore, just like I was saying. And then it'll play itself out and open up, and it'll be a real good catching eddy. And right now it's real limited to what it could catch. A lot of the fish are going on the outside of it probably. So now he's just going along, and he's going to add weights little by little and sink the thing. Probably making sure that the net is also not tangled anywhere too. Right off of, in between Joe's boat and the island, is a deep hole that's about, right now it'd be about 110 feet deep. I actually depth sounded it just the other day, not that long ago, and the water hasn't gone down that much more. And so it's 100 feet deep, and right where Joe's boat is, probably maybe 18 feet, something like that. And but when you get out there, you probably can't see it, but there's a big swirl. The current rips past that island, and then it creates a big swirl, and it's so violent when, like during breakup and high water and stuff like that, that it just flushes out all the gravel and everything like that, and it stays deep. It just never fills in. And just a little bit beyond that swirl downriver, within view of us here, the deepest it probably is across there's really no channel. It's about 28 feet deep or something like that. And the channel usually runs once it gets below the island here and forms one channel again. That's probably about 38 feet right now, something like that. So yep, Joe's adding rocks to the net, I think, and that'll be it. And he'll come back up and check it this evening, check it tomorrow morning, check it in the afternoon, and right in the center of that video is my fish wheel. And I turned that thing on a little while ago, and it ran for about an hour, and caught a couple of chum salmon, you know, like the poor quality summer chums, and that was it. A couple of whitefish too, but yeah, no king salmon. So I don't know how much cutting we're going to be doing. Like I say, the king run is winding down, and there probably is not going to be that many kings in the wheel or the net tomorrow morning, but we will see. All right, so that's Rapids, And this is, even though I call my camp rapids, this here with the island in the middle, that is the very center of the Rampart Rapids. And a little history of it there. So probably some of the fastest current on this section of river here, right here probably, I don't know. Sometimes I figure it's in higher water, it's even rolling about 8 or 10 miles an hour. So, okay, well, that's setting a net at the Rampart Rapids. Okay, and this is the, we're right almost on top of that 100-foot hole here by the island. And you can see the heavy swirls there. They're just eddying and coming up from the bottom, and you know, the water hits the tip of that island, and some of it goes to the south, and then some of it comes around here, and then just sweeps on past that north shore there. But like I say, there's that heavy swirl. There's you see sometimes big logs coming down, and especially when the water's higher, and just takes them down under, and they pop up about 100 feet down river or something. But yeah, you can see all that swirl in action. Yep, and we're just going around circles now. Yeah, like I say, it's 100 feet deep here. It's the only place I know of it like it in the whole river, or I mean this whole section of this river. I'm sure down by the mouth there's other places, but yeah. Okay, well, I think we'll head back to camp, and yeah, beautiful day. Actually pretty darn hot. We had 90 degrees in the shade here yesterday. Not quite as hot today. And there's Joe over there against that shore, still working on his net. Like I say, it takes him a long time to get all those rocks on it and sink it, but boy, it sure increases his catch. Okay, take care now.